The atmosphere surrounding this matchup feels electric, different from the usual buzz of game week. And you can sense it from the very first discussions about what Dallas needs to fix, and the challenges Kansas City brings along. Short weeks compress preparation and force teams to confront issues that normally would be worked through over several days: muscle soreness, limited practice repetitions, and accelerated walkthroughs mean that every tiny detail becomes amplified. There is no luxury to reset. There is no margin for error, even in alternate uniforms, which bring their own energy. Dallas faces this game with key injury concerns that could drastically shift momentum depending on who takes the field and who sits out. The uncertainty on the roster adds tension because every player's availability matters, and the balance between offense and defense hangs on the decisions of the coaching staff. In the final hours, the most immediate concern is Tyler Guyton, whose status moved quickly from doubtful to out, creating a ripple of questions for rotations and strategy. Meanwhile, Caden Carson's situation, initially thought minor, has developed into a more serious hamstring issue, complicating the short week plans. Soft tissue injuries on limited prep weeks are always tricky because they force coaches to juggle personnel while maintaining performance, and any misstep could expose vulnerabilities in critical defensive alignments. Beyond those two, the team has manageable concerns, with a few defenders listed as limited yet still likely to participate. Physically surviving a game of this intensity will demand everyone on the roster to be present and ready. Kansas City is navigating its own injury complications. Losing key contributors like Noah Gray and Trey Smith is significant, particularly Smith, whose role in the interior line sets the tempo for much of their offense. Chris Roland Wallace's shift from full participation to limited adds some uncertainty in the secondary, though most starters are practicing fully, suggesting that the Chiefs maintain more stability than Dallas in terms of personnel readiness. Still, Thursday night games do not accommodate full recovery, and almost every player carries some strain at this point in the season. The real test will be which team can withstand fatigue, and which coaching staff adapts most effectively under the compressed schedule. Once you move past injuries, the matchups themselves begin to reveal the true storyline. The first one jumps out immediately: Dallas's pass rush against the Chiefs' offensive line. That has shown increasing susceptibility under pressure. Quarterbacks do not thrive when the pocket collapses around them, no matter their skill level. Patrick Mahomes handles pressure better than most, yet even his output diminishes when defenders close in quickly and consistently. The key for Dallas is disruption at the interior line, forcing Mahomes into uncomfortable positions where his timing and rhythm are affected. Inconsistencies on the offensive line, such as those from Josh Simmons and Jawan Taylor, provide Dallas with potential leverage if they can tilt the trenches early and establish dominance on the ground and through the middle. Defensive strategy against Mahomes and his receivers will require an intentional shift toward man coverage. Statistics show a sharp decline in his efficiency when facing defenders one-on-one rather than in zone coverage. Man coverage forces the Chiefs to win individual battles rather than exploit spacing, creating an opportunity for Dallas to disrupt their timing-heavy scheme. Rashee Rice tore through zone coverage last week, but his production fell against man, exemplifying the difference. Accepting the occasional big play becomes a necessary trade-off to reduce consistent gains across the field. The defensive line, linebackers, and secondary all need to operate with precise communication and discipline to collapse the interior and control spacing at the top of routes. Chris Jones remains a disruptive force despite not piling up sack numbers, consistently altering plays with his presence. Rotational movement along the line can challenge interior blockers, and Dallas must remain anchored, communicating effectively to prevent mental lapses from turning manageable downs into critical mistakes. Meanwhile, the matchup between Dak Prescott and defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo promises a strategic chess match. Spagnuolo's aggressive and disguised pressure packages have historically challenged quarterbacks, though the Chiefs have struggled to generate consistent pressure even with blitzes this season. Prescott's ability to punish blitzes requires quick reads and decisive movement, and early down efficiency is crucial to maintaining rhythm and neutralizing disguised pressures before they disrupt the offense. Run game success on early downs will be vital against the Kansas City front that has quietly excelled at stopping first down attempts in recent weeks by forcing third and long scenarios. The defense increases pressure on Prescott, and early running failures can hand control of the field to the Chiefs. Maintaining consistent yardage through the line keeps the offense balanced and prevents defensive scheming from dictating play calling, allowing Dallas to establish tempo and open opportunities for play action and multiple receiver concepts. Player execution and situational awareness become central as offensive lines, and skilled players work to isolate matchups and exploit coverage weaknesses, avoiding the trap of predictable passing downs that favor Spagnuolo's tactical pressure. Individual assignments in coverage carry immense weight. Donovan Wilson's role in limiting Travis Kelce cannot be overstated, requiring anticipation and physical discipline to deny separation and force completion difficulties. CeeDee Lamb must perform at peak efficiency with precision and reliability. As key drops in critical moments have been costly in previous games, the emergence of Jackson Smith-Njigba adds depth to receiving options, but also complicates coverage, forcing defenders to account for multiple high-level threats. Don Bland in the secondary must maintain technique and patience against route concepts designed to exploit leverage and create open windows, countering Chiefs' horizontal spacing strategies with physical jams and disciplined positioning on the offensive edge. Nate Thomas's matchups against George Karlaftis could shape the pressure dynamic, as Dallas seeks to neutralize the only consistent pass rusher while protecting Prescott and opening passing lanes. Success in the trenches relies not on singular dominance, but on coordinated unit performance, communication, and adaptability. Each defender and blocker must operate as a cohesive system to counter MYLES' improvisational tendencies, mitigating his ability to exploit hesitation or minor coverage lapses. The horizontal stress of motion and spacing on defense also demands acute awareness and patience, requiring defenders to trust fundamentals, maintain leverage, and funnel routes to areas where support exists. Dallas's offense carries its own burdens. Prescott's accuracy and decision-making have generally been strong, but the team has struggled to sustain momentum when defenses adjust and exploit early inconsistencies. Establishing rhythm through quick game and play-action sequences, paired with precise route concepts, will prevent Kansas City from dictating pace and exploiting mistakes. Early down execution is paramount, avoiding third-and-long scenarios that give the Chiefs opportunities to deploy complex pressure packages. Success in the red zone is critical as well, with space compression forcing Dallas to rely on both wide receivers and tight ends to create leverage and maintain efficiency in scoring situations. Every adjustment, every calculated risk, and every unit's collective discipline will define Dallas's ability to withstand the intensity of this matchup. As the game unfolds, the intensity escalates with every snap, and Dallas must navigate a landscape where precision and adaptability are non-negotiable. The challenge is relentless, as Kansas City's offensive creativity thrives on exploiting even the smallest defensive hesitation. Every route, every motion, and every timing adjustment is calculated to pull defenders out of position, and the Cowboys' response must be equally sharp. Man coverage assignments continue to demand peak focus, and linebackers must read keys instantly to prevent incremental gains from snowballing into game-altering plays. The communication within the defensive unit cannot falter, and each secondary player must maintain spatial awareness while anticipating adjustments, because Mahomes and his supporting cast are experts at creating and exploiting micro-mismatches that develop in milliseconds. Prescott's decision-making comes under a microscope, particularly on early downs, where establishing rhythm is critical to prevent the defense from dictating tempo. Quick throws, clean reads, and timing-based routes must function in concert with the running game to maintain balance and open up opportunities deeper downfield. Dallas must avoid predictable sequences that allow Kansas City to anticipate and deploy pressure packages with precision. Every misstep in timing or alignment compounds the difficulty, as Spagnuolo's schemes are designed to capitalize on hesitation, miscommunication, or split-second indecision. The pocket must remain clean long enough for Prescott to exploit vulnerabilities, and the offensive line must maintain cohesion against a defensive front capable of rotating pressure and exploiting gaps on both edges and the interior. Red zone efficiency becomes a recurring focal point, as Dallas must convert extended drives into touchdowns rather than settling for field goals. Space constraints force tighter windows for receivers and require linemen to maintain leverage against compact defensive formations. Tight ends, particularly Ferguson, must assert themselves physically against linebackers and safeties to create lanes and secure critical catches. Wide receivers must win one-on-one matchups consistently, forcing defenders into contested catches rather than allowing easy separation. The interplay between route depth, spacing, and timing is amplified in these compressed areas, requiring absolute synchronization and split-second adjustments. Failure to capitalize in the red zone risks turning sustained drives into squandered opportunities, allowing the Chiefs to control the scoreboard with minimal possessions. On the defensive front, interior dominance is essential to disrupt the rhythm of Mahomes' passing game. Ezra and rotational linemen must maintain gap integrity while creating pressure lanes, forcing Mahomes to alter timing and adjust under duress. Chris Jones' disruptive presence adds an additional layer of complexity, as his ability to redirect plays and collapse pockets demands coordinated attention from interior blockers. The Cowboys must resist overcommitting to single matchups, as the Chiefs' offensive line excels at exploiting overpursuit, maintaining discipline, leveraging angles, and ensuring that every penetration is purposeful will determine whether Dallas can control the tempo and prevent explosive plays from emerging through the middle of the field. Second level defenders carry equal responsibility, with linebackers tasked with reading run-pass options instantly and adjusting coverage assignments in real time. Donovan Wilson, among others, faces a critical role in neutralizing Travis Kelce, anticipating route stems, and positioning himself to disrupt passing lanes while remaining ready to react to sudden adjustments. Safety rotations must be precise, providing seamless support without compromising coverage depth or leaving windows open for seam routes. Missteps are magnified against a quarterback of Mahomes' caliber, and even a fraction of hesitation can result in a significant gain or a scoring opportunity. Discipline, communication, and anticipation remain the linchpins of a successful defensive performance against a multifaceted offensive attack. On the edges, Nate Thomas and other linemen must maintain containment while neutralizing the Chiefs' only consistent pressure source in George Karlaftis. Winning these matchups shifts the advantage toward Dallas, allowing offensive schemes to develop and providing space for running backs and receivers to execute precise route concepts. Outside the trenches, cornerbacks and safeties must handle high-level route combinations, adjusting leverage, and maintaining awareness of spacing to prevent quick completions that allow the Chiefs to dictate tempo. Horizontal stress generated by pre-snap motion and timing adjustments challenges defenders to react instantaneously, underscoring the need for technique and disciplined positioning in every phase of the game. Running game execution carries heightened significance in sustaining drives and maintaining offensive balance. Prescott must leverage quick game throws and play-action sequences to manipulate coverage, while the running backs find lanes created by precise blocking. The offensive line's cohesion, combined with effective reads and adjustments from skilled players, establishes the tempo and prevents Kansas City from forcing long down and distance situations that play directly into their defensive philosophy. Success on early downs creates flexibility, opens intermediate and deep routes, and prevents predictable sequences that allow the Chiefs to deploy complex pressure strategies and coverage rotations. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Whispers are swirling across the league after a blockbuster move has reportedly shaken the NFC East to its core. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Dallas Cowboys have successfully secured MYLES Garrett in a trade that is sending shockwaves through the NFL, while teams have long speculated about potential shakeups this season. Few could have predicted a move of this magnitude, involving one of the game's premier defensive talents. Garrett, known for his explosive pass rushing ability and game-changing presence on the line, has been linked to trade rumors for months. Fans and analysts alike have debated where such a force could land, with names like Dallas, New England, and even some West Coast contenders being tossed around in various reports. Now, it appears the Cowboys have won the race, adding a player who can instantly alter the dynamics of any offense. Facing them, the Cowboys, who have been quietly fortifying their roster, seem poised to make a statement. Insiders suggest that Garrett's arrival could not only elevate the defense, but also send a clear message to the rest of the league. Dallas is serious about contention. Conversations in locker rooms and front offices are reportedly buzzing as teams reassess their strategies in light of what this trade could mean for division rivals and playoff matchups. While financial details and draft picks exchanged in the trade remain largely under wraps, Speculation is already mounting about how Garrett will fit into Dallas' defensive scheme. Will he dominate as an edge rusher, or will the coaching staff innovate to maximize his multifaceted skill set? Analysts are divided, but most agree that his mere presence will force opposing quarterbacks to think twice before stepping into the pocket. Social media is ablaze with fan reactions, memes, and heated debates about what this means for the Cowboys' title hopes. Some are already calling it a game changer and comparing it to past trades that reshaped the league's balance of power. Others caution that while Garrett is a phenomenal talent, integrating a player of his caliber mid-season is never without risk. What remains certain is that the NFL landscape just got a lot more interesting. The buzz surrounding Myles Garrett in Dallas isn't just a headline, it's a conversation starter, a strategy disruptor, and the kind of move that will dominate sports talk for weeks to come. As the Cowboys prepare to showcase their new star, one thing is clear: wherever Garrett lines up, eyes will be watching, and rival quarterbacks will be on high alert. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.